17-year-old gasket. Oh no, Gasketto. If anyone's watching this and has a parts cleaner that they want to send me for nothing, that'd be smashing. Whoa, yeah, it's still got me. Welcome to another video from Auto Garage Life, and yeah, I'm starting this one off actually driving in the car. Woohoo! We're back on the road. We are repair free. We've done all the maintenance for it so far for this year. I've just serviced this car in full. If you want to see that video, I'll put it up in the top right hand corner on the cards. Go and check it out. I'll explain the difference between an A service and a B service and show you all the extra stuff that I did for this service in this car, and it drives superb. I wasn't stuck behind some caravans, it'd be even better. But anyway, so you're probably here because you want to know how to replace the valve cover gaskets on your Mercedes V6 or V8 in your SL. So I've done this job already on this car, but I was bombarded. Okay, 2 or 3 people messaged me and said, we know you've done the job and it's in amongst your other videos, but can you do just one video of this repair, start to finish, so we can see it just on one single video file? And I was like, right, okay, we'll do that, that's no problem. So that's what this video is. If you've taken your engine cover off and you see oil and sludge and gunk all over the place, it's all over the valve covers and it's making a mess, it can drip onto your alternator, worst case scenario, it can drip onto your exhaust and cause a smell. You can smell the oil burning within the cabin. That's why I noticed mine. Then the valve covers probably need replaced, and this video is definitely for you to watch. And the car smells very fresh now. No oil burning smells, drives perfectly, no oil leakage in the engine. When you take the cover off, it's very, very clean. So as you're watching this video, I'm going to be out driving my SL, and I'm going to be flooring it like this. Whoa, yeah, it's still got, I mean, this is a 3.7, it's not going to put your head way back in the seat, but it's still got a decent amount of acceleration for a 3.7 V6, and it's very, very smooth to drive. So, but enjoy it, that's what it's for. And I'm going to enjoy this one whilst you guys watch my video. So, thank you very much, hope you enjoy it. Please drop me a like, please subscribe, we'll have more videos on this car and others coming up. Drop a comment if you disagree or don't agree or just want to say hello. I'll always respond to all the comments. And yeah, enjoy, thank you. See you in the next one. Of course it is a Mercedes-Benz SL. I should be very dignified in my driving. I should be very, you know, courteous and formal and very, very subdued in my acceleration. Pretty sure all the big boys in the SL600s and the 55 AMGs will drive nice and conservatively every time they go out in their vehicles. Yes. Okay, so these are new valve cover gaskets for the main valve covers. The smaller valve covers that I showed you in the video, you can't buy the gaskets for them, so I'm going to just be using some red RTV to put around them. Alright, so we're going to remove the valve covers because the oil is pretty bad. It's leaking pretty badly, and I'll zoom in closer so you can see. I've already taken off one of the coil packs there, and you can see all the oil collating around about them. It's dripping onto the alternator and it's dripping onto the exhaust manifold and making a bit of a smell. So PCV hoses, disconnect that one there, it just pops off, and it's a Torx bit for the screws inside the coil packs, and then a star bit or reverse torques for the 9 bolts that are around the valve cover itself. Don't drop these down there. I'll be there all day trying to fish them out. There we go. Now I can see the other 3 bolts that I need to take out. You can see there where the oil starts to pull, and eventually, look, gets down right into the coil packs down there and just gets everywhere. Messy, messy, messy. E10 reverse torque star bit. And these aren't on that tight. These will just be 10 Newton meters of torque. There you go, that was off straight away. So there's 9 of these in total, 2 in the top here, the big long ones. Well, they're easy to get into once the coils are out of the way, the packs. Why does that have to happen? There we go. Usually find something that someone's dropped, and it's usually a 10mm socket. I'm going to open up an engine one day and find a bag of cash. It'll be quite good. Someone's stashed away somewhere. Okay, let's see how easily this lifts off. I've never been off this car in its life, I don't think. 17-year-old gasket. Oh my goodness. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's just laughing at me. It wanted to come off. It was like, please, change the gasket in me, I'm dead. What is stopping you down here? Something doesn't like it. There we are. Yes! One completely caked valve cover gap. This is brilliant. That come off really easy. Guess what we're going to do with this? We're going to clean it up. So here we go, we've got the driver's side valve cover off. The gasket's still there, I'm about to take it off. But in general, the engine looks pretty good. The oil's pretty clean, and there's nothing there that would suggest that it hasn't had oil changes every year or so. So I'm pretty happy with the look of it. You can see all down there where the oil's been getting out, look at that. Dripping onto the coil packs, dripping onto the manifold and causing a smell. Not desirable to have leaking oil, so we're going to clean this up, but here is the dirty valve cover. So we'll clean that first. And this little cover here comes off as a gasket between this cover and the main one, which you can't buy. So I'm going to use some RTV and replace that, so let's crack on. We ran out of rubber gloves. Let's use this instead. Off you come. There we have it. Uno gasketto. Okay, cleaning time. And this little cover comes off as well. As you come. So here's a little top cover on the valve cover gasket, and as you can see there's channels for a gasket, but they don't make one for it, or should I say they don't sell ones anymore. So this is all RTV, which means a good few minutes here scraping out the old RTV. Then we'll put in some new stuff. Excuse me. And we'll clean this up. Oh, there you go, something fell out. What was that? An O-ring. Right, so to put the small cover back onto the main cover, like I said before, Mercedes don't sell a gasket for it. So we use this RTV. This could get messy. Yeah, that'll do it. That's got a cure time of about 5 minutes before it starts to harden. You're supposed to put it on before that happens, so it's probably putting about 2 or 3 minutes actually putting it on. Maybe not the neatest job in the world. There's got to be someone that can do it better. This will do me. Get out of the way. If anyone's watching this and has a parts cleaner that they want to send me for nothing, that'd be smashing. Thrn, if you're watching this and you take orders for your aqua cleaner, then that's fine as well. I'll take it, because it saved me a lot of time doing this. There we go. And what you'll find is the 2 screws that hold this on, you're better putting them in now, because the RTV squeezes into the hole. Never enough cloths. I wish Mercedes just sold a gasket for this. I hate the mess. That's not bad though. That's okay. Mercedes, if you're watching, make a valve cover for that gasket for that place. That didn't cost you much. Ideally you wait a good wee while before putting any heat onto this, so we'll probably fit this later on today and start the engine tomorrow. Check for leaks. No way this should leak, that's for sure. Yeah, that's not bad. This is clean, in inverted commas, but you know, without a proper parts washer, I'm probably never going to get that clean. Or I could spend hours doing it. But the reality is, the engine cover goes on top of it anyway, so I'm not wasting any more of my time on that. Easily see the red RTV. That's not bad for neatness wise. A wee bit of a splodge there. That's not bad. That's a good line. Okay, so now we're finally ready to put the cover back on. These are out the way. I've got one ignition coil still to fit on. We'll just wait and we'll keep this one out of the way just now. New gaskets on, just into the channel of the cover. Let's see how it goes, man. What does it not like? There we are. That's it. There we go. What we'll just do is we'll just double check that I haven't kinked the gasket anywhere. And it is definitely in place. Where is my inspection mirror when you need it? There we are. One of these little guys is really handy. You can just check things, and it's got a light built in. You can just have a wee look. There's a gasket there. You can see it absolutely perfectly seated around the curve. This is when it gets annoying, because now I've seen some oil residue that I haven't tidied up. I need to clean that. So it looks good everywhere. Now all we need to do is figure out what bolts she took out went into which holes. Oh wait a minute! Yes, we came up with this, didn't we? Top is the 2 longest bolts are at the top. That's them. And that's your pattern. So we'll go with this little guy first. And he goes at the top right. Let's go for it. Superb. Let's just pretend for a second that I invented that idea. If that's the case, this video deserves to go viral. There we are. So just put these in loosely. They don't get torqued down too much. They're only like 10 Newton meters of torque or something like that. 8 or 10, I think it's. We'll go for 10. And that'll do it. We'll just put them in by hand just now. If I was being really picky, I should have cleaned all these bolts off, but like I say, you don't see any of this in the car. and I don't have a parts washer that I can do things quickly in. Oh, the gloves are off. We need to get little fingers in there. There we go. So all you electric car guys don't have this to look forward to, eh? You feel as if you're missing out. All this good stuff. 10 Newton meters of torque. Initial start. The one in the top middle. There we go. There we go. Don't forget the PCV hose, of course. I almost did forget that wee guy. Rinse and repeat on the other side. However, the other side does have one major difference. Well, I say one major difference. It's basically this. Oh, there's the rain on. Exactly the same process, but you probably need to loosen this 17mm nut here for the fuel line. And there's 1, 2 PCV hoses to consider as well. So basically the same, just a few other things in the way on this side. And this part again comes off the top. That'll be another wee RTV gasket we need to make. So we'll do that shortly. There will be some fuel spillage in there, so just get a little cloth. Plenty of space in this engine bay though, look at that. I could practically stand in there. I have at the moment coil packs out of the other side for doing the valve cover gasket, which I'm about to just take off shortly. The difference with this one is, like I said before, you get 2 PCV hoses. I actually ripped that one, taking it off, so I do have a replacement. I'm going to put a replacement hose on. They're on they're pretty stuck on there, so I had to use some silicone lubricant WDs type stuff to squirt into them and get them off. Now I need to take off this. I don't have a claw foot to torque this back, so I've just marked it where it's going to be resting. And what you can do with this is, that is the fuel rail, obviously. There's a Schrader valve here that you can take off, and I've already done this off camera, so little screwdriver in there and it will squirt any pressure fuel out. Get a cloth, put it there, and it will take just a little bit of fuel out of that rail. I didn't have any because the car has been sitting still for a good number of weeks now actually, so you will still get some spillage, which I'll video when I take this off. All you need to do is put a cloth underneath and mop it up, make sure it doesn't drip anywhere, and you're good to go. This valve cover is actually loose, so more than likely it's been dripping oil onto the manifold, which we'll clean before we start the car up and make sure there's no traces of oil to produce the best smells of smoke that we got from the other side. So this was off easy peasy as well, no problem, all the bolts are out. And I've reused my magic bolt holder for this side, so we'll finish that job off today or tomorrow. Same video for you, and we're good to go. Okay, cracked that 17mm nut there loose, and this pipe, just stick it off to the side, and the fuel will start dripping out of the fuel rail there. So I'm just going to leave this cloth there to mop it up and then just chuck it out. You see that little, there's for the pipe attached, and the fuel just kind of drips out there. It's not a lot, just enough to be soaked up with that cloth. Then the valve cover will be ready to come off once that pipe is out of the bay. Alright, so we have the valve cover off and the gaskets off the cylinder head as well. Just taped up the wee fuel inlet there and put some paper towels there just in case. This side looking okay as well. No immediate signs of any damage or anything like that. But this time I have put a towel down over the exhaust manifold because I'm taking my time with these gaskets and cleaning the valve cover, so there is oil dripping onto the manifold, and I don't want the repeat of the other side when I Slightly panicked with the smoke that was coming off it as I started the car, so trying to avoid that this time. Alright, so here's what happens when you don't do that. If oil drips onto the exhaust manifold and you start the car, it'll start burning it off, creating plumes of smoke coming out, and if you didn't know what it was, you might think your engine's caught fire or something, but don't panic. If you see this, it'll eventually go away and burn it all off, but the other side, I just prevented it by not letting it happen in the first place. Plus, I did burst one of the PCV hoses this time, taking it off. It was just a bit brittle, and the actual hose is split. You can see that there. That one got split at the end. But like I said before, thankfully, I did buy Febi hoses replacements. So this one just connects to here and goes into the air intake there. So that's pretty straightforward, just to pop off. They do get brittle over time, so I would probably buy the full pack of these like I did if you're doing this job, just in case some of them do break as you're removing them, which just happened to me. So I do have an alternative parts washer, which is, I better not let the other half see this because it could get messy on the chips here. However, cleaned them up as best I could before I brought them out here, give them a rinse down, and we'll now put them back in. And we're going to put the little red RTV along this gasket line here to attach this cover to the main one. So here's all the remnants of the old gaskets on the PCV covers. Guess how long that took me to pick off and clean, because if you don't clean all this off, it's never going to reseal properly. So Mercedes could make a jigsaw gasket out of that template and start selling it, and it would save a good few hours of time. Anyway, only one place for this. Zip in. Job is done. Both gaskets are back on. Sorry, gasket covers are back on with new gaskets. I've hooked up the coil packs again. We have tightened the fuel nut back so we can see that line on the top. We have both PCV hoses in place, and I'll probably wait until tomorrow until the red RTV has a decent amount of time to set, and then we'll start it and we'll see if we have any smoke coming out, because last time when I started that side we did, but like I say, I haven't seen any evidence of it leaking, and I haven't seen any evidence of oil dripping anywhere, so I'm pretty confident it was just me spilling it on the manifold as I was doing the job in the first place. So engine back together, new batteries in the trunk, we're almost ready to start the car again. Victory! Yes! It's alive! Everything's hooked up again, and so far no smoke. It was just oil spilling because I did this side smoked as well. I am absolutely brilliant, happy with this. This is great. I'm going to get the air intake back on, but I'm going to leave it running for a wee while and just make sure everything's okay. But so far so good.